Hi there. We're live. This is now is the now. Okay. Hi. Welcome to a special sort of wolf watching. We're going to wolf watch a little differently today, in that I'm hoping to answer some wolf questions. Or am I wolf answering your question? I don't know. But we're going to do some acrylic pouring. Last time I did one of these, I did an acrylic pour on a multi-level surface, and it was super satisfying to watch. But people out there were wondering what I used to make so satisfying a thing, and so here we are. I can show you all of the ins and outs of how to do some acrylic pouring. Today we're going to do some stuff that I'm actually working on for our larger exhibit spaces. I'm doing a series of really cool sculptures that are morphing and changing, and I need to make some labels for those sculptures. So I'm going to do some acrylic skin pouring. This is like acrylic pouring, but I'm going to be able to peel it off of here, and I'll have a cool little plastic sheet that I can then apply to other objects. I like to work on like a non-porous surface. I really like this waxed butcher paper. The paint doesn't seem to stick to it at all. I have another silicone mat that I use for this, which is really nice because you can stretch the silicone underneath the dried paint, which will cause it to release in like one nice fluid motion. This we're going to have to peel off a little bit more. It's a little more labor intensive, but easier for all of you to see. Plus I forgot the silicone mat at home. So let's start by putting up some walls. We're going to be throwing a lot of liquid on this surface, and we don't want it to travel off onto this nice fancy bamboo desk that they have over here at Live. So I'm going to draw on this surface using a little bit of hot glue. And the hot glue will form a wall that stops it from traveling around. Like, the coolest part about this is that as I do this, I can create any image I want, knowing that later I'm going to be pulling that image apart, but for just the sake of fun, we're going to do something interesting. So if anyone out there is already watching and has a suggestion for something I can try and draw and then fill with paint, please throw that on the chat. I can see it right in front of me, and yeah, we'll check it out. I got glue on your table. Oops. So before I start any project, one, I'm going to make sure I have all my stuff. The stuff we'll need specifically for this today: Floetrol. Floetrol is actually used in contract painting. It guarantees that you don't leave brush marks in your lines. It makes for a nicer roll-on. This isn't an ad for Floetrol, but if you guys like it, contact me, please, Floetrol. It's actually used a lot in spray applications of paint as well to thin the paint down so it doesn't clog your machines as you work. Oh, I see stuff! I'm looking at it right now. I can see the stuff you write me. Let's look. Can't wait. Oh, hi, California. I do love pandas. I also love wizard pandas. I have sort of a philosophical objection to pandas just because they're the laziest possible animal and they shit constantly. But aside from that, they do look cute. Yeah, let's mix Albert Hoffman. Is that a suggestion for me to draw Albert Hoffman? I'm going to try and do an Albert Hoffman wizard panda. But first I'm going to put on my trusty coat. Sorry if this is making the mic go all crazy, guys. Jeez. All right. So one of the reasons that I like wolf watching... Oh! Gus is helping me with my mic placement. One of the reasons I like wolf watching is I see an opportunity here to not just show people how to do this stuff, but to show people that doing this stuff is something we can all do. All of the information that you're going to see here is stuff that I got off of YouTube in the middle of the night while I couldn't sleep. And the world is full of stuff you can learn in the middle of the night while you can't sleep. So I'd like to start exploring that stuff as much as I can. So this is a nice exploration into that. So Albert Hoffman, kitty head. Okay, bamboo. Yeah, it's the bamboo that makes them poop all the time. All right, let's go with, I'm going to try and do a panda kitty wizard. But I'm going to do it upside down so that y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, let's give this a go. All right, so I've got a nice low temp glue in here. Do be careful of large guns and high temp glue. Some of the worst burns I've ever gotten are from this. It doesn't seem like it's dangerous, but man, it is. It hurts you all the time. So use your hot glue reverently. Okay, let's see if I can do it. We're gonna, we'll do a little, okay. All right, we're gonna give it a go. Upside down, drawing stuff, singing for the audience so they don't get bored. Did you get bored because I stopped? Checking. No? Okay. How's it looking, Gus?
Great.
Sweet! I'm really thankful for Gus. Woo! It's a little foxish, but it's upside down, so, you know. So I just want to be sure to connect these lines as well as possible. Again, I'm going to be pulling these off, and I'm not actually going for this image, so I don't have to be too careful. But if you were like making a label or something specific, you'd want to take your time, make sure that you don't get these little stringy guys popping up everywhere. Okay, Panda's got that weird, like, whoosh thing. Like, yeah, I got it. Now, how do I make this a wizard? I guess the hat's, like, iconic. I can't really imbue it with magic. Maybe I can. We're gonna give it a big old... All right. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, so again, this is just like the framework within which we're gonna pour our paint to make this thing. So let's get into the paint and how to mix the paint and Floetrol and silicone and cells and what all that stuff means. So we're gonna start with our trusty Floetrol. It's gonna become the base that we add our pigment to. The idea is having a consistent fluid base so that when things dry, they don't dry to different densities and then thusly different heights on here. So you'll get a nice even deal. I've already shaken and stirred and whatnot. But with any new product, you always, especially paint stuff, move it around as best you can for a while first, or you end up wasting a bunch of it. I'm going to look at my chat and see if I'm missing anything. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you're oddly satisfied. All right. Now, you can get really into this, and you can get down to weights and perfect measurements and stuff like that. But I find that eyeballing it gives me the freedom to come up with new ideas while I'm going. That isn't to say that you shouldn't measure and stuff. It's just that my process likes a little bit of disruption. I find that my creative process is really inspired by screwing up a lot. And sometimes you need to not measure stuff to screw up a lot. The reason I wear this trusty coat is so I can wipe my hands on it. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to adjust my mic real quick because I just feel like that's going to be better. And also, Mr. Rogers, thank you, wherever you are. You, Bill Nye, Pee Wee Herman, you three were my TV dads, and you're why I want to do this. You inspired me to not just make art, but be a better person and look at my world in a way that created bridges between the arts and the sciences and me. So thank you. So, mixing this up. Also, Bill Murray, thank you for meatballs. You've affected my entire personality indelibly. We're gonna mix a little paint. this is just your like average hobby store stuff. This is the liquid version, liquid body, not heavy body. And you really don't need a whole lot. The Floetrol is going to go a long way. So we're just going to give it a little. Fart noises help me measure the duration of the fart is a different amount of fluid. All right, so this is going to be a little boring while I do this, guys. I'm just going to mix this up. Since the Floetrol is white, we're going to try and take the pigment to a level where we get that true blue that I want, but I'm not affecting the body so much that it's become heavy. So I'm going to work in equal amounts. Yeah. And yeah, that's about where I like it, just to give the audience out there an idea of how thick that is. Whoop. Yeah, up there. Cool. Now I like blue, so I'm going to be mixing just a little bit more blue in this one. Let's go with some red because we've got a nice contrast. Be sure and hold your cap when doing this, especially in a live studio. If you throw paint everywhere, they don't like it. Huh, Gus? Thanks for speaking up, Gus. Says Gus.
Get him, Gus.
All right. So that's like pink. I don't like it. So it's just so much trial and error. Everything is so much trial and error, but especially painting, and especially like this sort of painting. You're not going to get exactly the right thing every time, but you're going to get something. And sometimes it's about separating yourself away from your expectations so that you can see what's actually in front of you and what you've actually made. I've messed up so many things and just tossed them. I was working on this stained glass piece and moving another piece over the top of it, it broke because honestly I was doing it wrong and shattered on top of the piece. And one of my biggest regrets is not getting that piece back together and not finishing it and just sort of tossing those bits because it was energy. And now it's just stagnating energy, which makes me feel weird. Let's see how this chat's going. Yeah, Gus! Yeah, we got people into Gus. That's what I was hoping to do. Yeah, okay, so. I'm here. Hi, Lucy Cobalt? Hi. All right, so. I really like the vibrancy that's going on with the white. It's sort of pastelish. It's friendly, but let's get a little darker.
Denmark and Norway.
Whoa. This is why, 1, we shake our paints. 2, we make sure that there's not this residual like paint on the top that I left, because that paint on the top that I left stopped it from closing all the way, and I don't have liquid paint in here. So we're just going to skip black. These things happen. We're going to get a little brighter with it. We're going to go with pink. And like a bunch of pink. Why not? The pink, I'm going to add something special to. So when you do acrylic pours, the layers all sort of wish-wash across each other. And the different densities of fluid separate as the whole thing settles down. And as it separates, any sort of chemical difference between the two is really shown off. And this chemistry does not get along necessarily with our acrylic. This is silica, or silicone? Silicone. You can order this anywhere. This is actually Tread Ease. This is for lubricating treadmills at home. But it's just a pure silica, or silicone. I did it again. So we're gonna add a bunch to this pink. And we're gonna wait to stir that until right before we pour it, so that it's dispersed well. And since we don't have any black, we're gonna go with some silver. Things did not get dark. This is gonna be a very happy looking wizard panda thing. I hope it looks like that. It's still upside down to me, so it's like that duck old woman drawing. All I see is an ugly old lady right now. Okay. So, for our first pour, I want to mix these together and then just see how it moves on its own and separates on its own with this specific grouping. And then we'll start playing with liquid painting within these lines after that. So I'm going to start by combining my colors in a way that I think will look nice when I pour it. So I'm going for heavy contrasts. So I'm going a little blue, a little red. And just for the fun of it, so that you can see it, we're going to do a quick repetition of the two, because that's cool looking. All right. Your fancy new lights are hot, guys. It's hot in here. It's cool. These are the things I do for my art. All right, so since I put that silicone in there, so I got it right. We're gonna stir it, mix it all up in there. We're gonna add it to our center layer.
You got some good questions.
Oh, whoa! I was doing, what do we got? Paper stock. This is standard butcher paper. You can buy it in pre-cut sheets. I think this is actually food grade, so we probably got it from a restaurant supply. Yeah, she left. I like the giggling too.
She's gone to check the air conditioning.
Oh, good, because I am hot. Okay, pour that sheet. I am going to pour that sheet. The silicone, so I just bought it online. Not Amazon, online. eBay, I bet, will work. I'm not going to tell you why I said that though. It is wax butcher paper. And yeah, so as you saw, I added just like a few drops. We are going to play with the amount of silicone to achieve our desired result. Different amounts and different ways of agitating it will all change our final result. So what we will get to see is what one layer pretty heavily agitated will look like within a body of other colors. So we're going to try it. We're going to do it. I'm just going to go slow. And I think that I got a camera. Hey, Gus. Is that good, Gus?
Yep.
Thanks, Gus. All right. So I'm not going to do much movement. Give it a little wiggle just to create a pattern. Okay, so that's what giving it a little wiggle does. Let's see what giving it a spiral does, just for the fun of it. Well, if I ever want to pour a wizard hat, I think that's how I'm going to do it from here on out. So as you can see, I can actually do a fair amount of illustration as I'm pouring. I can do a fair amount of control to create the effects I want. And that's all through just trying. I mean, that's doing this a bunch of times and not liking the result. And who knows, I might not like the result of this one. We'll find out. So, look, I have paint all over their table. So I'm just going to use a standard stick to just sort of control the edge and spread it to where I want. Now, one of the main differences between doing a skin pour and an acrylic pour is that an acrylic pour, a lot of times, you have paint already laying on this surface. And so there's no resistance as it's pouring along into that new field of paint. As you can see on this one, since we're pouring and there's no real resistance, we're getting some surface tension, and that surface tension just stops it in its tracks. And we can grab that edge and we can move it over a little bit. But as you can see, I can get into this edge, but I try and go much further than that, and you start to be able to see my stroke marks. So, you know, what we can do is we can add more paint to that. So we're gonna just keep adding and mixing to see what happens, because it's cool. So we're gonna start with our silicone. I'm gonna agitate it up. I'm getting so sweaty. Don't tell anyone. I know it's live, but don't tell anyone else. I really like green and pink in heavy contrast, and since I've thrown a bunch of silicone in here, I'd like to see what happens with just like a bunch of pink that's got silicone and green that has none. Let's check it out.
Sneaky Gus arm in shot. That was Gus, revealed.
That was Gus. Y'all saw him. Okay, so let's do this cute little ear. Why not? There for Gus. I'm gonna try and do a drag. So I'm gonna pour and then just pull back as I'm pouring.
Let's freak out about that.
So again, like, we're not going for one total image. That piece, when I pull it off, is going to be this gorgeous, like, 1990s bit of paraphernalia. I'm really excited about that. Let's throw a little silver. And it gets cooler, folks. It gets cooler. All right, so a little silver, red, blue, green. Okay. What happens, I wonder, if I just flip that whole thing over? I kind of want to find out. All right. Let's see, where's a good spot? I'm going to do it right on this eye. What is it? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, Gus. So, the chat people really like him. Okay, and go. Ooh, I like the splatter thus far. We're going to give it just a second for everything to settle, sort of build up against the edges of the cup. You ready? This is going to be oddly satisfying. Ugh. So we've abandoned our design a little bit, but we'll see if we can get back to our wizard kitty panda somewhere along the way here. Oh my gosh. You know what? You guys got any paper towels?
Yeah.
Ill prepared. Everyone should always have both the materials to do their project and the materials to clean up after their project with them while they work. Sort of a faux pas on my part. I was biking here until the very last second. It's live, you know, what are you gonna do? Yep, I know, the internet always loves the mystery character. Hey look, God, I could do this now. Okay, fancy lights, everyone. Live CD, fancy lights. Okay, well that's lovely, and we're gonna just take a second. We're gonna get these spots up. A little effort while you move to clean, just like in cooking, you know, it makes not just for better food, but better art and a clearer mind. This is all coming from your mind. So the most important tool you have is your brain. Keep your brain clear, make better art. I'm gonna get these up so I don't put my hands in them. All right, so this is doing some stuff. I'm just gonna go like this for fun. Okay, let's let that spread out a little bit. So let's see what happens, just for fun, if we swipe. We're gonna set this here. We're gonna drag it and just barely hit the surface of the paint, just to see what it does. So here's a nice example of what I was talking about with cells. So as we look at the area that I just scraped across, you can see that after I did that scrape, it didn't stop moving. Those little tendrils of color kept condensing and consolidating and finding each other as they moved around the blobs of silicone that are trying to move towards the surface. And so what that's caused is this matrixing effect of condensed color. And that condensed color makes for more pigment, which makes it easier to see, which makes it more psychedelic and sort of like Brownian fractal mathematics, because it's all fluid dynamics. And so it's a really nice expression of some really extreme math going on right there. Well, and there. So let's do some more pouring on this. This cup is starting to look really good. I like to save the cups. They definitely look cool. They're nice to just leave on people's desks. At restaurants, people can wonder how that happened. All right. Ooh, 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 ooh. I really like this line thing that's happening right here. And it's sort of almost whiskery, so I'm just gonna like really sort of patiently try and throw some whiskers on our psychedelic wizard kitten. Oh yeah, that's cool. Can you hear me when I whisper, Gus? Should I not whisper when it's live? What do you think, audience? Well, yeah, I mean, really, I'm here for you guys, so, you know, you tell me what to do. I am basically your internet. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, should I? Okay, hair in my mouth. I got hair in my mouth. Beard in my mouth. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. All right, so let's keep going. I'm just going to keep adding. And then, yeah, at some point, we'll just have to get back with you guys when I peel this stuff off and start shaping it and showing you what we can do once we've created these cool skins. And really, anything you can come up with can be done. But I can show you the stuff that I've come up with to do with them. All right, here's that silicone again in the pink. You guys aren't going to be able to see it. I can see it, and it looks really cool. There's a lot of like marbling and movement in the silicone as it's trying to separate in this paint as well. And it looks really cool, and you can't see it, so ha 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 ha. We're just going to go right in here. We're going to do another of these pours. I'm going to do a long line just to see if I like it. You don't have to like everything, right? Yeah, let's go back. Like this on this one. Yeah, I really wish I'd taken better care of that black paint. But maybe there's some reason this doesn't get black paint. And I'm not gonna deny that I've been surprised by the motivations of the world on occasion. All right, I think I want to play a little bit more with bringing this illustration out. Let's get back to like the wizard and panda-iness of it. So let's see. I really should wear a watch so that I can tell how long I've been doing this, but I'm going to ask Gus. Hey, Gus. Hey! Okay. So what I like to do like midway through a project, is just again do that cleanup thing. I know I already did it, but I'm a big fan of cleaning. And especially before I move on to the next phase of what I'm doing, I think it's really important to just take a minute, assess, and so like, you know, moving forward, this stuff is going to get in my way a little bit. I'm going to be dragging sleeves, and I'm going to be making more work for myself than I need. So let's just set up some napkins here. I'm going to move these pre-used cups out of the way. And see these guys, I'm just asking for it, leaving all this stuff around. Flip one of those, it's on the fancy rug. It's actually not that fancy of a rug. You guys can't see it, but MW Live needs a new rug. I'm just kidding, guys, I'm sorry. All right, more fun stuff. So now, I'm actually gonna use a little bit more of this red because there's a bunch of it left in here. These guys are like my favorite thing for liquid paint pouring. So we're just going to take a little bit, soak it up. All right. I'm sweating even more. You guys make me nervous. I think it's because you're chatting and you're actually paying attention, and that's what makes me nervous. It's easy to pretend that I'm just doing this alone in my room because this is all I do alone in my room, but the chat gives it away. All right, so I'm just going to see if I can bring out this image a little bit by adding some liquid. Uh-oh. If I press too hard, it'll be like a squirt gun. Yeah, that's actually pretty neat and level with the other surface, which I really like. So it seems like this is a good way of sort of bringing out the illustration I want. So I'm just going to keep playing with it. Yeah, yeah. You gotta be careful of the bubbles. If you have your needle tip too close to the liquid and you actually inject underneath it, you can create some cool effects, but if you're trying to create a line on the top, you want to avoid it. These bubbles will pop down and might make for like a cool cell or two, but I try to avoid that when I'm doing solid stuff like this. That's just me, man. You do your own thing. I feel like adding some polka dots right here. Oh god, that is an oddly satisfying sound. Oh. All right. Oh, I threw it. Okay. I'm gonna mix some more of this silver because I'm really enjoying just like drawing on that. Gus is picking that up. He like went under the cameras on the table. He was so stealthy. He didn't want anyone to know, but I blew it. Okay. Flow Troll. This is one of those products that I wonder if they know how wide their distribution is on just the art market. You guys, if you don't know, we all use your stuff. I hope this was your intention. So.
Where's that elbow?
They like the elbows. They like Gus's elbows.
That was Eddie.
Ooh, so a sculpture could be built out of multiple pores. That's so true.
They were asking if you could put things in the paint, like texture, leaves, or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Small objects.
Find out, I guess. Let's make some whiskers. Yeah, this is a great idea. Whoever you are, who is that? Who said it?
Zachary Adonolfi?
That's a hard last name. Thanks, Zach. All right. Yeah, these can be whiskers, right? Sure. Yeah, let's add something to the pour and then pour over and around it and just see what it does to our total shape. I'm putting these up so that they're a little bit taller, so they're like little walls. I touched it. Ideally, that would have been more graceful. All right, got some nice dark blue. But for this little experiment, my dark blue that I was preparing won't work. So we're just gonna take some of this green. We're gonna use our leftover cups here. And we're just gonna pour everything we got to try and test this whisker theory. Yeah, I'm interested to see how the paint moves around the objects. I think that that'll probably be the biggest effect we get from this style of pour. Although I would really like to take something textured of a shape, like a large leaf, and do a pour on that and see what that topography does to affect the total pour as it moves. And maybe, heck, we'll get to do that at some point. So, ooh, I'm digging that. So I give that a little spin. We mixed all of the layers in this one so it won't separate as I pour. It'll be just a little bit more random. And let's see how it goes around this cool whiskers. Yeah, it adds a nice wall for sure. It moves around. It moves around a bit. It's good to know. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. We'll see. Let's do this over here too. Yeah, let's, Yeah, I don't like it. But that's why we try things. Let's see if maybe pulling them up creates an effect that I do like. Yeah, it's affected our pattern a bit. You can see the impression of something that was laid there for sure, but I think that you could probably achieve that just by giving it a simple drag. So let's just see what... I mean, if you're going for whiskers, yeah, this is the way to do it. I'm not sure we were going for whiskers, but... yeah, okay, so back to this. Thanks for that moment. What else is going on out there? That silicone is used as a treadmill lubricant. I'm making, yeah, it could be a cosmic eagle. If that's what you see, then that's what it is. Because right now, it just looks like a bunch of paint to me. But yeah, let's go with cosmic eagle. Okay, so I'm going to do some more trying to draw on the surface because I enjoy it. So what I'll do with this once it's dry is I'll peel these things off and then I will cut them into sort of wafery shapes and then I'll lay them like tile and create like a scale pattern made of lots of different patterns, and hopefully it won't look like crap. Let's see. Let's bring our panda back with the little swoopies. Let's set you up there, I guess. whispering. I'm not supposed to know they're whispering, but they are.
Secrets.
So as I'm making any project, I like to split my attention and my time, not necessarily away from the project, but away from how I'm looking at the project. Brian Eno has this great deck of cards that he pulls out when the band has started to when he just doesn't like it. He wants an improvement, he wants a change, he wants something that he's not getting. He pulls out this deck of cards called the oblique strategies. And what the oblique strategies do is completely disrupt the art process. It can be anything like the bassist is the drummer, or tell a story from your youth. I mean, it's like a bunch of different things. And the musicians hate them because it really throws off the whole thing, but the product of them is undeniable. They don't like it in the moment, but then the things they make are a surprise. And when we surprise ourselves, that's the thing that reminds us that we're really artists and that all of us can be artists. And sometimes surprising yourself takes a little bit of faith. You have to put yourself in the place where you're experimenting. And that's scary, and it's new, and it's dangerous. You can waste materials, you can waste time, you can waste effort. But if you remove yourself from that linear thought and start thinking about it all as subroutines, as different modes of computation, you can't fail. I mean, this may not look anything like, well, no, that looks exactly like a wizard panda kitten, I'm sorry. This may not look like what I intended, but in the end, it will look like something beautiful because I'm choosing to see the beauty in it. And sometimes the great idea happens from just amusing yourself with little ideas. I'm gonna add some more of these whiskers because I like them. Fangs. You know, I haven't done this before. I'm wondering what happens if I mix paint in my syringe. This is sort of the same way you do a pour out of a cup, but with this closed body. See how it works. Sorry to ramble on at you. Rambling is what I do while I make art. I enjoy it. Because to me it's more, this process is about walking around in my brain. This is about experiencing new thought patterns, seeing new things happen, and part of the reason I would like to start answering the public's questions about making art and stuff like that is because I would like y'all to become my oblique strategies guide. I'd like you to present me with the questions that remove me from the things I'm making long enough to have epiphanies. That's kind of cool. Let's see if we can draw a little bit more with that. No, it's all terrible. Oh God, it's awful. Ew, so that's why you don't want to like push a bunch of air into it. That's like that. That's what happens if you do that. Let's see. All right, and so I'm just going to finish this up by sort of spreading things around and just playing with the paint a bit. And we'll let it dry and then it'll be peelable. But before we go, I find it so oddly satisfying to do flip cup pours. We're going to do another flip cup pour just to watch it. So, yeah, that is just gross there. You guys can't see it as well as I can, but it's awful. So let's spread this in right here. And we'll just cover that up like it never happened. And there you have a panda, kitty, wizard. It looks nothing like that. Okay, moving on to an acrylic pour real quick, and then I'll let you go. But you've been great, so thanks. All right, so I'm going to start with 3 colors. We're going to do it pretty simple. So the mix that I'm using is just a little bit of Floetrol. You can add Elmer's glue to this, but it's not necessary. I like it more when doing a pour onto a body that's already got paint on it. It tends to like even everything out once it's dried. I'm going to really carefully move this.
Someone asked about your oblique strategy.
Oh, yeah. Brian Eno, not me. Brian Eno.
Oh, they asked, do you call out the need for the oblique strategy, or do the chat choose when that happens?
Ooh.
And then someone else said,
I don't know.
they feel like it hasn't happened yet, but maybe when you feel a creative block, or...
Okay. So, sorry, I'm so sweaty. Also, the AC in this building is terrible. Okay, so oblique strategies. So if I'm so wrapped up in doing one thing that I can't sleep, which happens a lot, I'll start dreaming in that thing. And then it'll be like a layer of that thing and then another layer of that thing, like 2 possibilities or projections into the project, and they're like on top of each other in my head, but it's like looking at 2 images projected on one wall. And you can't make heads or tails of it. I just know I'm processing like a lot of stuff all at once. And so when that starts to happen, when I can't make myself do something fun with my brain, when I can't let it to let go, I need something random to just crack in there and move those subroutines and get that inertia, that spin to just fly out somewhere else, because it's a lot of energy and it's just stuck in this one little until that thing comes along that causes me to question something new. And for me, personally, like the thing that breaks those thought patterns is a question. It's a puzzle. And so that's why I like this so much, because I could be working on anything and get a random question. Anything from how do you make an edible helm for LARP battling? Or how do you tailor yourself a pinup style dress? Like, I'd like to do any of those things and just explore super random questions to see what inspiration I find from them. It could be anything from baking a cake in a coffee mug to swapping out the fluid on a vintage truck that brings you that inspiration, or who knows, brings you that thing that you like doing more than anything else in the world. You never know until you've given it a shot. You've given it a try. I know I like doing this, but I didn't until I did it a couple of times. And the first times I did it, I didn't like doing it. And then I kept doing it anyway, even though I didn't like it. I call it give it a week. If you try something new, give it a week of failure. And if you don't like it at the end of it, feel free to move on to something else. But give yourself time to enjoy failing at lots of different things. But yeah, so when I get stuck, when I'm in that loop, I give myself the chance to fail at something that doesn't matter. Projects are all so important. There's so many people involved. Sometimes you need to just do something that you know doesn't matter, so that when you fail, you can step back and laugh. I didn't put enough paint in here. More Floetrol. This might get I'm being conservative because I don't want it to go off the table. So I'm just going to rectify that fear by putting a wall up. Oh my God. So yeah, in the future, if I'm able to keep this going, I'd love to collect questions from the outside world and just start attacking different things, different random things every week, because I already do it. One week it's e-bike motors, the next week it's obscure tattoo methods. And that's just what I do on my own. So I kind of love some help. I'd like to open up this idea of me constantly distracting myself with new things to the public so that, I don't know, the collective unconscious is sort of directing my adventure. You'll notice I use a lot of pink. It's sort of, I don't know why. I don't even like it that much. Honestly, not one of my favorite colors. I think that I just like the way it interacts with other colors. It's like a really good backup. It's like blue's Bill Murray and pink is Chevy Chase. It just like really complements how nice blue is. Sorry, Chevy Chase. Well, I said that for legal reasons. Shoot, I could be in trouble now. Mixing, using little things that I broke while I was mixing. Hey people out there. White or green? Anyone? I know. It'll be my favorite voicemail ever. It'll be my new favorite voicemail. I was thinking of one other one I got where my dad was being chased by a mountain lion. That was a pretty good voicemail. He loved it. Let's see. White it is. I'm in New Mexico. I live just by a region, a preserve called the Caja del Rio. And legit mountain lions and rattlesnakes and coyotes and all that stuff. Legit dangers. I bought this brand new today, by the way. Home Depot, come on. One moment. I'm back. I ran out of clean things, and it's white, so I don't want to laugh out loud. People want green. Wait, is it green we want? Let's take a vote. I'm gonna set the vote as of right now. Okay, green, white, green, white, green, white. Green it is, dudes. I mixed it, but it's okay. It's okay.
Use the clump.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use the clump. You got it. You guys are in charge. Sorry, the sound in my head defaults to Bride of Frankenstein. I'm not sure why. There's just like a constant theme in my head. Okay. All right, I'm going to use the clump. You ready? I'm going to get it's going in.
Follow the clump, Gus.
Yeah. I don't know who suggested that, but if you ruin my painting, I'll be so mad. Ugh. Well, now I don't want to use this to mix it. Jeez. Okay, hold on. There we go. Which one should I add the Tread Ease silicone to? Anyone? 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 No one wins. Aw. I did pink. I'll do it again. Oh, shit. The green's been reacting to the green screen. Is that still going?
Oh, yeah.
Yes! That's great. I'm sorry I got so excited. The clump just sort of like, it's gross. Okay.
We can reveal the true colors. Hang on. No.
True colors.
That's good.
Don't do that to me. That's going to have to be a rule in the studio. Because I will sing it. Na, 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 na. Okay, so let's add these all to one cup, and then flip it over. Oh, I should listen closer to you. I'm sorry. That was a bunch. So just so y'all can see it, that was like a bunch. Normally it's in drops. I did like a full-on. All right. Aggressively mixed. All right. Silver. Pink. I was going to give them all their own whistle tone, but I couldn't handle it. I got nervous. You guys make me nervous. I know you're virtual, but it's okay. I will get less nervous as you get more used to me. I'm really sorry that theme keeps coming back. Okay, I'm going to wait to drop the big old gooshy clump until the very last second, because I think it's going to like screw up my poor architecture. I got more paint on their table. Hi, guys.
Someone else, what kind of silicone are you using? Oh, it's fine.
What? Wait, who? What? Huh? What? Who? Which? What silicone?
Caleb Jackson, what kind of silicone are you using?
Oh.
Is it cheaper than Smooth On?
Oh, yeah. Dude. Different kind of silicone. This is actually a silicone lubricant that can be used for all sorts of stuff, specifically treadmills. This is a treadmill lubricant that can be purchased anywhere online. But yeah, way different. Smooth On silicone is for like casting and molding and stuff like that. But if you guys have questions about casting and molding and stuff like that, prop making also, foam crafting, I love that stuff. And I would love to get into it with the audience and answer some questions while doing an actual fab. We have some people on our staff which are incredible prop fabricators and stuff, and they would love to be able to show you some tricks and tips as well. So keep that in mind. Okay, big clump. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
Thump. Oh, that is something else. Thanks for that. All right. Stir or no stir? First one to answer. Good. Zoom in. Goose. Hey, Goose! Yes, stir it. Okay. We're going to go with a couple quick swipes. Thwump, thwump, and that's it. Because we got that clump in there. That clump is just acting like a big old zeppelin in there. It's moving lots of fluid around. All right. Wham!
They're all saying no now. There's like a 20-second delay between you asking
Now, I
the
said
question.
the first person.
That's true.
And no, too late. It's too late. You have to be faster. Well, whoever got to there, someone's much faster than you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll do another one where I don't stir. Don't boo me. The chat is too much stress, you guys. Okay, ready? I'm ready. I'm so ready. Pop. I think I hate the clump. We'll see.
It's too late, baby. It's too late.
Whoever suggested that, I'm gonna find you. All right, I'm just gonna. I just have all this paint. You know, I'm just gonna do some stuff. What are you chatting at me now? I see it. Oh my God! I've disappointed my audience. I didn't know it would be such a subject that I stirred it. Next time I'll wait longer and we'll have a more democratic choice about whether or not I stir the paint before I pour it. Okay. And this is going to be fun. We're just going to move it around and see what happens. Ooh, that clump is really changing the way this is working. Whoa. Oh, I'm sorry. Gus, you can't see, can you?
Everyone's saying you're wonderful.
Well, thanks, everyone. I'm glad there's a consensus. Yeah. That coolness.
Hashtag the clump.
Yeah. Is that still reacting to the screen behind me? What do you think, guys? Is that cool? It's pretty cool. Oh man, I got paint everywhere. I did, look. Don't tell them. Okay. I'm gonna put this right back on that paint. Don't do that in an actual studio. I'm gonna clean it all up afterward. So yeah, I made an ugly kitten, panda, wizard, and yeah, when I flake it off, it'll look really cool. But I'm actually excited about this one. The separation, because we added a bunch of silicone, I think that it caused that blue to really condense well. We ended up with some really cool matrixing. I like this transition of color, the pink down. I think that this will chop up to make a bunch of sculptural elements really, really well. So yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. I think that it's so cool that you guys wrote stuff to me. And I'm seeing if there's more. It is like a universe or Saturn. Yes. But thank you, everyone, for checking out Twitch and for checking out, art making stuff and our Facebook page and all of it. We really appreciate not just you seeing the stuff we put out there, but participating in the stuff we put out there. Meow Wolf is more than a person. It's more than a community. It's an expression of something that we all need. This is a big Jungian movement towards what we all need. So yeah, thanks for being a part of it. And I'm gonna leave now.
DIY
culture kind of saved my life.
I feel like that invigorates the city.
It gives artists a chance to contribute to the community.
It is so important that we have artists and ideas and these think tanks where our community can really come together.
DIY spaces don't have a consistent revenue stream, and they usually don't have the bandwidth to get up to these codes.
In 2016, there was a fire at a DIY art space called Ghost Ship.
I remember seeing other venues starting to get shut down, so we did like a little town hall style meeting.
This is your community. Keep it going.
Instead of telling us, you can't do this, it's not safe, help us make this safe.
Our goal is to give over $250,000 to DIY art spaces across the country, but we need your help to get there.
Meow Wolf is putting up the first $100,000 to help reach our $250,000 goal. Join our movement today by contributing at meowwolf.com/DIY.
No, I'm serious, dude. They were like, he went right, and his just came off, and his were just like around. I'm telling you. And no, I'm telling you. No, it's not. No, I'm trying to tell you about. That's all.
Meow Wolf Live is a window into our world, where we stream the processes, parts, and people we're made of every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Meet Meow Wolf is an interview-based show that focuses on our many Meow Wolfers and what they do, one at a time.
Wolf Watching is a peek behind the curtain at the work and individuals that make up our exhibitions.
Couch Out is a celebration of indie video games and the joy they generate.
So tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as Meow Wolf Live streams itself to a monitor near you.
I had a group of kids and said, well, let's do robots. And I said, we don't have any robots. And they said, what if we can get robots? And I went, well, I'll see what I can do. So I wrote a grant to Dollars for Schools, and that's where it all started.
This doesn't work, then you do. Makes school more exciting.
Yeah, it definitely does, yeah.
I'm not as stressed out as I look.
Picasso Cowboy!
Slap a nose on it. Call it a face.
The art world needs to get shaken up a little bit.
It's time for us to just be an agitator.
We don't know what we're doing, and we don't care.
We didn't want rules.
Not only is this crazy, but it's possible.
This is the new art.
It's incredible. Meow Wolf have done something truly unique.